Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Well, I guess today's the day. We're finally going to get into the Nakamichi ZX-9 and hopefully I can get this thing going and it won't be too much drama. I'm only slightly nervous, as you can tell. But what the hey, we'll just see where this goes and see what I end up with at the end of this. I should warn you that I'm not really planning on doing much beyond transport service in this video. It could be there's a lot wrong with this besides just transport related issues, but I won't know that till I get the transport up and running and working again. So that's really all I'm planning to do in this video because it's December the whatever. So hopefully I've got time to get this ready for December 27th, which is the Saturday after Christmas. Ooh, I forgot my Christmas tree. There we go. Now we're in the mood for this. Anyway, I've spent the last 2 or 3 years trying to learn about cassette deck repairs so I can hopefully do this for other people starting next year. So I kind of got this as my sort of graduation present, as it were, for graduating from Cassette Deck University as it is. Anyhow, it is time, so let's get started on this. But before we do, I should talk about a few things, actually. If you don't want to get into the talky parts, you can just skip ahead if you want. I won't begrudge that against you or whatever. I've got all the belts I should need for this, I think. I've got lots of these FRSP 8.97s for the Capstan drive. Sometimes those don't work for the Capstan drives on these things, so I've got an alternate here. They are these FRSP 9.2s. These were hard to come by in Canada, but I've found a few, thanks to Audio Labs of Georgia. And I've also got a full belt kit here from Web Spare Parts. Some of these will be used in this deck. Everything but the Capstan belt in the kit will be used in this deck. And yeah, I think we're ready to go with this. And as you can see, there is a box on top of the deck here. This is the entire DigiKey order I ordered specifically for this project. It's just full of film capacitors, and there's some capacitors we have to talk about yet. But I am nervous, so I hope I can get this done. Anyway, let's move the Christmas tree. We'll get the box off the top of this thing and we'll get inside it. I've already got the screws out of the top. And the very first thing I'm going to do on this deck is recap the entire power supply and probably pull every voltage regulator to check how good the gain is on those. Way back in there. There's a couple back there, and then there's a few more down on this side under here. I want to check all of those. I wouldn't normally do that on a cassette deck, but this is a $1,700 cassette deck, so it gets the works thrown at it, as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to test the heads before I get started as well, just to make sure they're still good. But again, $1,700. This one's getting new heads if the heads are gone. I don't know where I'll find them, but I'll just get them. Even though it's kind of difficult on this model because it's super tuned and hand-picked heads from the factory. So, but I'll do whatever I have to do with this. There's another thing we need to be concerned about, and that's all these orange polypropylene capacitors. Like you can see, there's one here. Those all have to go, and I'm replacing those right now. Well, maybe not right now. Maybe on Wednesday. It's Monday today. I just wanted to get started on it because I couldn't wait. Anyhow, on the motorboard of this, which will also be getting a full recap, there's a couple of capacitors that people like to address while they're in here. And normally they contain one of those orange crappy capacitors, but mine doesn't for some reason. So I'm kind of wondering if mine's been into before and has been serviced before. Or failing that, Nakamichi might have made a running change to these ZX-9s to update the situation most people like to address in here. You see, Attached to this chip down here, there are usually two capacitors in parallel. One's 1,000 picofarads and one's 1,200 picofarads. And one or the other is the orange cap of doom that has to be replaced. But in mine, one of those capacitors is already missing. The other one is this one here. That is a full 2,200 picofarad capacitor, replacing both of the parallel ones. And you may be wondering why they would use two parallel capacitors like that. Well, it's because different types of film capacitors have different thermal characteristics. So that's basically why they did that. As one heats up, the other one gets more stable, or something like that. One gets unstable as it heats up, then the other one gets more stable, or something like that. I don't know. But I will be replacing this. I don't think it needs replacement. It's not one of the orange caps, but I'll show you what I'm doing with it. What a lot of people like to do here to replace the two parallel caps is go with one of these. This is out of focus for some reason. This is a multi-layer ceramic capacitor, or a C0G. And these typically have better thermal characteristics than the stuff Nakamichi used back in the day. So I will be replacing that cap with one of these things as we go on through this. But that is for when I get the transport out. I'm not dealing with that today. That's going to be the weekend. I'm dealing with the transport. I'm actually not too concerned about servicing this transport because I have done it before. It's the same as the 480 with some minor differences. Well, some minor and some major, I should say. Like there's no direct drive motor in the 480, but you know what I mean. Thankfully, there is no broken eject clamp down there to worry about on this one because the eject is in a different spot in this particular model. But in mine, it is very contaminated with dried grease, and sometimes it doesn't like to hold the door closed. But I will deal with that. That's easy stuff. And another thing to be concerned about with these Nakamichi decks is sometimes the idler arm bends on these. But on mine, I can't really see any evidence of that happening. So I'm hoping what I have here is a low hours deck that will just fire up and work once I get done the transport service. But there's a lot of component replacement and stuff to do before that. And another thing you have to be aware of is this cable down here. It's a sliding metallic cable. Sometimes you find these in old receivers for coupling switches way back in the chassis to the front panel. In this deck, it's used to alter the azimuth for the record head. And what I would strongly suggest that you do if you're buying one of these, and you know it hasn't been serviced before, you should probably just go ahead and leave this control alone right here. This is what controls that azimuth adjustment. And these get gummed up with old grease, and if you go too hard on this control before you've serviced the old grease, you can damage that cable, and good luck to you if that happens. I'm hoping mine's okay, but I won't know that for sure until I actually get in there and start working on it. But yes, when it comes to servicing decks for other people, I've got no problem taking on Nakamichi. It's just I'm not sure about some of the really high-end stuff yet. I'm hoping this will make me comfortable enough to do the ZX-7s and ZX-9s. The ZX-5 over in Japan is RBX-300, so that one I would have no problem servicing. But when it comes to the Dragon or something like that, or one of the other models with the auto azimuth stuff for the playback heads, I'm a little reluctant to do that just yet, but maybe I'll get there in time. I will probably not be buying my own Dragon, just in case you were wondering. They're just going for too much money, and I just don't want to pay any more than what I paid for this one, which was already a fortune. $1,700 all in on this deck. I cannot believe I spent that much money, but I guess I have to because it's sitting here. Anyway, I'm going to get started on the power supply now. I will come back on camera and let you know if there's any drama, but I had best get going on this, so I will. Okay, folks, it is Wednesday, and here's the update. I have now gotten most of the orange caps changed. Not all of them. There's some I can't access yet because there's a board up here that I have to remove in order to get to the other ones that I didn't get to. And I've now recapped most of the capacitors over 100 microfarads. There might still be more, but I'm not sure yet. Because again, there are caps up on this board that I can't get access to just yet. The front has to come off to do that, but I will get to that. And I should mention, I've done 3 of the regulators now, repasted them. Q401, 404, and 410, these are the gains I'm getting on those 3 transistors. They are the ones down on this bracket here. Not the easiest thing to remove that bracket while the boards are still in the deck, but I managed just fine, and very happy with those. I haven't checked these readings yet against the actual transistor parts that are in there, but I will eventually. And the other thing I've got to do yet is check these 2 down in here. I will eventually, as mentioned. But the capacitor report is, I only found one bad one, or rather one that tested electrically bad, that is. That's this one here. This one is down below 80% of tolerance. It's 370 microfarads instead of 470. And that's the only one I found. The 2 big main filter caps, the 6800s, those were down to 6,000. Not too concerned about that. The replacements are now 8,200, so those should be nice for the deck. And I also upgraded one other capacitor. I think it's this one. This one is now 3,300 microfarads. It's that one there. And I've used Panasonic FR exclusively throughout this on most of the capacitors, except for these 2 big main filter caps. You can't get those in FR. But yes, the electrically bad one is right there. The physically bad ones are all of these blue Matsushita ones. Some of these are starting to leak already. Others are not getting ready to leak yet, but still, I'm glad to have them gone. They don't hold up, these early 80s blue SU parts. You have to get rid of them. Late 80s and mid 80s blue SU parts are mostly fine, but it's just these I don't trust. And with regards to all of these orange capacitors, I tested them one by one as they came out of the deck. They're all working and they're all good, so I shouldn't have any damage here from bad orange capacitors. They should all be gone. I've done the entire bias oscillator now and had no problems. I'll just turn it on real quick to show you how it works, which is absolutely no different from how it was working before. It comes out of standby mode right there. Of course, nothing happens because the idler is slipping big time. I'll show you. Well, actually, it does turn that one. A little bit. Not real well. Counter doesn't move because I think the shutoff belt is gone or missing or something. Oh yeah, it won't work with the door open. Let's get in there and see what the fast wind does. Oh yeah, it moves that. It's just we got no tape counter action over here, so yeah, we'll get in there and fix that. No problem. And the capstan motor is running, as you can see. It's just there's no belt to the other side, so can't do much with that. So next step is to remove the face, and to do that I'm going to get all these rotten old capacitors off of here, and we'll proceed from there. But before we do, I've got a few other things incoming from Japan you might like to know about. First off, there are two amplifiers. One's a Pioneer A006. That will be the cosmetic parts donor for the 008 and 0012, I hope. We'll see what happens. That was only a $40 amplifier, so it's cheap regardless. We'll get it working on its own. And the other one is a Trio KA9300, which is also known as the Supreme 600 over here in North America land. There are a few differences, but for all intents and purposes, that's the same model. And the last thing that I've got coming in is a Pioneer CT980. That is not the best transport to have because it's a triple direct drive auto reverse quartz locked unit, but whatever. I'll see how bad it is for myself and see how it stacks up against the other nightmare in the collection, the GXR88. But enough about that. Let me finish working on the transistors here and repasting them, and we'll get into the front panel and start in there. And now a poem by the Weather Wolf. There once was a man named Enos. Oh wait, that's not for this video. Never mind, forget you heard that one. Here's the real one. 'Twas the deck before Christmas and all through the house. Not a thing getting done today 'cause the power went out. The wind whipped and howled, gale force, some said. 130 kph gusts. Oops, there went the neighbor's shed. I peeked out the door, snow blasted me in the face. Why did I do that? Felt kinda like mace. Will this knack ever be done, I wonder in despair. If Santa is real, rip out Jack Frost's hair. The house is quite cold now, the furnace ain't run. I dwell in darkness, and this ain't no fun. No movies, no games, no playing in snow. Oh, hang on. That blizzard was 2 days ago. I guess I can actually work today. Never mind. Let's continue. Lost the whole day Wednesday. Couldn't do any work then because of the gigantic blizzard out there. Knocking out the power for 8 hours. And then Thursday I couldn't do any work because I had to go and do the day job over at the church. Friday couldn't work because the power company had to shut the power off again to fix all the other damage created by these 130 kilometer an hour winds. Now it's Saturday and I'm suddenly finding myself without any of the extra time I hope to reserve myself for this project. So I hope I can get this done for you by next week, because it's Saturday today and I gotta have this ready for Saturday next week if I can. But I guess if it's a little bit late, it'll have to be what it is. Maybe I can do a Sunday release or something like that if I can't get it done in time. But I'm still going to try. Still have lots of time to do the transport, so just got to take the faceplate off this thing. And I'm guessing I have to remove some of these covers and such. This annoys me about these covers, is that they pull the knobs off with them, and it's irritating. But I'm guessing they all have to come off anyway, so I will take them off. And these are really loose. So I'm not sure the covers will be going back on this thing. I might put them in a little bag and set them aside for in case I ever decide to sell this deck. Okay, and I guess these would have to come off as well. Oh, that one feels loose. I better check on that potentiometer while I'm in here. No worries, I will do that. They all need to be cleaned anyway. So do I need to pull these off? I don't know. I will check on those later, but let's get the door off. Because we got to pull the transport today too. Today I'm just going to be reworking the rest of the electronics, I think. I won't get into the actual transport today. I'll save that for tomorrow and Monday, if I've got the time. Not sure exactly what the family schedule is. We might be having early Christmas dinner tomorrow, so I might not be working tomorrow either. Okay, now since we are pulling the transport, I gotta get into where the heads are and disconnect those. I did check them, they're good. Still, this makes me very happy. And as for this azimuth cable, we will disconnect that when the front panel comes off. I don't think I want to try to disconnect it from where I'm sitting right now. I'd like a little more room to work. Okay, now the head connectors are down in here for the playback and record. The erase head is up top. Let's see if I can show you. We've got a red connector for the record, I think, and a white one for the playback. As you can see, I've gone in with all new Yamaha caps around there. I haven't done the audio coupling caps yet. I will save that for later. I just wanted to get all these new Panasonic FRs in there, and they are all in there. Even on the Dolby board, I'll try and show you here. There you can see all the FRs that I installed. There's a bunch of them. I'm not exactly sure if these are in the audio path or not, but I don't think they are. Anyway, all I had was FRs anyway. I don't have any audio grade caps for those locations. These had to be attached to the bottom of the board because they're too wide to go anywhere else, but that's fine. There's clearance for those. Now I need to snip some zip ties. Okay, now let me see what I gotta do from here. Little bits of zip tie all over the bench now. Okay, those are freed up. I can see where they're run. I don't know if it's very easy for me to get them out from the other side if I just bolt this board back down, but I think I have to anyway, just so I don't damage anything. And yeah, the front's been off before. I think the front's been off before. I can see double witness marks on this screw hole, but not this one. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. Okay, is the front loose? Yes, it is. Will it come off? No, it won't. We do have to remove these switches on the front here. Oh, that one broke. Dang. Where am I going to find that now? Well, I'll deal with that later. Man, I've never had that happen before. That's the noise reduction switch. So worst case scenario, I can just not use that switch. But I will try and fix it somehow. I don't know how. I will try. Okay, front panel is loose. We gotta disconnect some stuff, I think. And this is when I get out my other phone and start taking pictures so I know where to reconnect things. And hopefully that's enough to help me figure out where things go. Okay, we've got two connectors on this particular wire. By the way, I have resoldered all these connectors underneath. Let's see, this one is a 7-pin. And the other one is a much bigger one. Okay. 11 pins on that one. Let's see, I'm guessing these have to be disconnected as well. I don't know where that wire goes. I'm going to have to find that. This really does not feel like a good day for me to be working, but I kind of have to because I don't have much choice at the moment if I want to get this video done. Okay, blue connector there. And the erase head plugs in over here. If I can get that out again. Already had it disconnected once before. And we've got two connectors back here, which do not want to be unplugged, but they are unplugged anyway. Then a gray connector around here. Man, all these connectors, two gray connectors I have to disconnect. There's that one here. Oh, that one was tight. I had to get at it from the sides. Okay. The erase head is combined together with those other two connectors, so I will delete that zip tie so I've got the erase head off by itself. Because we're going to be taking off the head bridge. Okay, this will be power to the Capstan motor. Disconnect that. And this is for the FG coil, I'm sure. And that does not need to be disconnected yet. So, let's see. How's our progress looking? I'm guessing the other connector goes in under here again, which means I have to remove these screws again. Okay, I see where it goes. It goes to the very front, right there. Okay, this is a 6-pin connector. Kind of thinking maybe I should label this one somehow, in some way. So I'm going to put a little red dot on it with a Sharpie. More wires and more connectors. Great! Where do these ones go? Buy a high-end neck, I said. It'll be fun, I said. I'm not sure this is fun. Maybe it will be more fun later. Okay, we got a blue connector over here. And I'm noticing I haven't cleaned up my my board work for the power supply yet. I should do that while I'm at it. And we got one last connector, a red one. One more connector. A white one. This one here, 4-pin. I don't think I have to label that one because it's, I think it's the only 4-pin in the deck that I've disconnected. Just checking. Yes, that is the case, and it is bundled with the two blue connectors so I can find it again easier. So, should be able to just pull the front panel off now once I disconnect this azimuth cable, which is just right there, and I hope I don't break anything disconnecting it. Ah, boy. So I got to deal with these little clips here, so I want to be as gentle as possible. I have declipped the rear side of it. Now I got to get to the front. And we'll take a look at this cable real quick after I get this off. How do I get to this other clip? Not so easy. I got 3 of the 4 unclipped. At least I think I do. Alright, I got it. Oh, that was an ordeal. But here's the cable. As you can see, it is not moving. Well, it is kind of. Let me just look at the head while I... apply some gentle force to this. I don't want to put a lot of force on it. No, the head is not moving, so this needed to be done for sure. Now, can I extract these wires? Okay, so here's the faceplate. You can see it's extremely dirty, has been for a long time. I'm not surprised. I did have one extra connector that I missed. It's this one here. Goes in way underneath the main board there, back in where the heads connect. So that was fun to find out the hard way, but whatever, we got her done. I'll set that up out of the way for now, and as for this control, I'm going to try to super glue it back together. I may try to wrap it with some other type of plastic and hold it together that way. If not, then I'll have to try and source a replacement, and probably costs a fortune to get that kind of thing off eBay for one of these. So thankfully it's the Dolby control, so I have no plans on ever using that on this deck. If I use any kind of noise reduction on this, it'll be the DBX box that I've got in the other room, but whatever. I will work on that shortly. Anyway, here's the actual condition of it. How much you want to bet that lamp has gone out? That's usually the way it goes with these when the counter doesn't work. So interesting to see that the belt is still there. Even more interesting to see that there's all kinds of trash around the transport, but whatever. We can actually remove the transport now, I think. Maybe we should do that on camera, because I want to see exactly the state of the mounting posts in here, because sometimes when these get jostled around in shipping, those break. I want to see if mine are okay. So we'll do that. Transport's got to come out anyway. We might as well do her now. So far, so good. Those two bottom ones are still attached. Top one seems good too. And how much you want to bet I got to go disconnect some more connectors yet in order to get this out? Okay, we got more connectors, but I don't know that I have to remove them, actually. But no, maybe we're okay, I don't know. So I still don't have the transport out, but that's only because Nakamichi decided to be bright and solder a ground wire directly to the motor case of the control motor. Otherwise, I've now had to re-dismount the power supply board here just so I can get the transport out a little easier. But I think it's real close to coming out now. So just waiting for the iron to heat up, and I'll desolder this wire here. As best I can. They've got this wire wrapped on the actual board. So I thought it would be easier to just do it that way. I think I can get the transport out now, so let's try. We'll see how this goes. Okay, I'll shove the power supply board down out of the way a little bit. Let me bring through the azimuth cable, if I can. Should be able to. Yes, and theoretically we can remove the transport now. Hopefully without desoldering or disconnecting a bunch more wires. There's not a lot of clearance here for this, so make note of that, I guess. Fold down that cablastometer on top of that motor just so I can get the transport back far enough to come out of here. Maybe I should be dismounting the front panel instead and Maybe that would make it easier. Maybe not. I have a few choice words for the NAC engineers. How's a guy supposed to work on this thing? Don't want... There we go. Now we got her freed up. There's probably a better way to do this than the way I'm doing it, but I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, so I'm doing it the way I'm doing it, if that makes any sense. And the transport is now out! Finally! Lord, did that take a while. But at least it's out, and I can work on it, and I can rework the motor board. I will do that today. Then I'll come back tomorrow and Monday and do the transport, I hope, and maybe we'll live happily ever after. I don't know. I gotta fix this this broken thing first. Man, I hope I can do it. Maybe I can try to find some other plastic material to wrap around this to make it a better thing, or maybe I can plastic weld it too. That's another thought. Plastic weld and glue, that should hold. Okay, so I have done everything there is to do in here, I think. I tried to clean the monitor switch as best I could. Could be I'll have to pull it out and disassemble it, but I think I got her. We'll find out the hard way, I guess, if I didn't. These have all been cleaned now. This was the pot that I thought was loose. It is not, so it is a little bit wiggly, but no more so than the rest of them are. So the problem is going to be with the actual physical control. And I have repaired the broken one now. You can see it here. I used a combination of plastic welding, as you can see, plus I used the gel super glue initially to hold this, and I clamped it down, so I'm pretty sure that's going to hold. We'll find out if it doesn't. Now, when it comes to the motor board here, you'll see that that capacitor I was mentioning, that one has not been changed. Reason being, my imaginary friend that was in charge with ordering that part ordered the wrong value. I ordered 22 picofarads, and that's 2200 picofarads. So had to put the old one back in for now. If I need it, I'll go ahead and order it separate. But the whole rest of the board has been recapped, and you should be careful when you're working on this particular model, because the 4 caps on this chip here, they were polarized different than the factory silk screened them. Like you see the dots on the negative. Well, Nakamichi dots are always on the positive. So initially I thought this was backwards on all 4 of these. So I went ahead and I checked my footage to see how they were originally installed, just to make sure. And they are installed properly as of right now. But more than that, I went to the audio blog in Japan. Enjoy Your Audio Life. I'm not exactly sure what it's called. He's done 11 ZX-9s, I think. And all of them that I could tell were set up exactly like this. So hopefully those all work. Those are all Panasonic FR. FR, 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 wherever I could get away with it. But these parts over here were low leakage. So I was a little concerned because I only had the UKLs in these 3 locations. Those are the 1 microfarad parts, 0.22, and there are 3 0.47s, I think. 2 or 3. Anyway, I did not have the UKLs in those. Those are VZ parts. So I was a little concerned about that, so I fired up the East tester, and in every parameter I can test on that tester, the VZ parts exceed the values, or are, I should say, they're better than what was actually in there in the first place. So that's kind of tracking with my general impressions that modern capacitors in general are lower leakage than vintage ones like were used in here. I guess we'll find out if it doesn't work. When it comes to the transistors, all 4 of these have been removed and repasted and tested while they were out. And you can see I've cleaned up the board the way I usually do. I put a Kim wipe on top, dumped a bunch of iso alcohol over top and just went scrubbing with my toothbrush over top of the Kim wipe, and that got it spotless. I'm happy with how this looks. It actually looks better than it did when it came out. So I'm happy with how this is turning out so far, but we could have lots of drama when it comes to the transport. But I'm not dealing with that today. I've done a lot of work today. In terms of the transistor measurements, here they are. Pause here if you want to see them. There's one up here that is marginal. It's just over the baseline value it's supposed to be. But as long as the deck works, I'm not going to worry about it. Down here, there are these two that are kind of measuring somewhat low. I haven't checked those against the data sheets yet, but I will. Anyway, they're matching, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I would prefer if they matched with their opposing pairs, Q504 and 502, but as long as the deck works, I'm not really too concerned about it. If it doesn't work, then we can maybe address these transistors as well. But for now, I'm all done for the day. I'm going to go away for the day and maybe come back tomorrow, maybe come back Monday, and then we'll do the transport service. But before then, let's just take one quick look at the transport. I'll show you how the azimuth cable is on the bottom here. You can see it just clips in right here. There's a little plate that has to come off, it looks like. And then we can get in there to fully service that little sliding plate in there, which will have to be done. But that'll be for transport service. Now, when you do the azimuth adjustment on the recording head, what Nakamichi wants you to do is you set the control on the front to the mid position, and then you adjust the azimuth from that there gear. But I should caution you, in order to service the sliding plate that changes the azimuth, you do actually have to remove the recording head. I don't know how big of a problem it'll be to get it back into alignment. It could be Nakamichi designed this well enough that it won't be that far out at all, and I won't have to do actually anything to do head tilt and head height, but I will deal with that in another separate occasion. I don't have time for that anywhere near this week, so we're just going to have to do the best we can and get it back in the deck and working, and maybe we'll see if it needs recording and playback head azimuth adjustments and tilt adjustments and all that stuff later. Okay, so it is now Christmas Eve, and I have to finish the transport on this because I haven't started the transport yet. Well, I kind of have and I kind of haven't. The shutoff lamp has been changed. As expected, the old one was bad. I'll show you what I use for those. These are JKL number 23, 14 volts, and they work perfectly there. I used one in the 480, and I'm now using one here. Should get about 40 or something ohms when that bulb is popped, but about 20 ohms or so across it when the bulb is good. At least that's what I've found on these. Now, because there is already a time crunch, or unfortunately a time crunch I should say, I was really hoping to have more time to work on the transport than this, but it is what it is. We did in fact have our Christmas dinner on Sunday, so had to lose that day for work, and then the day after I had to unplug and reset the anxiety disorder, because it always happens when I'm on those occasions that the anxiety disorder goes nuts and I can't get anything done the day after or even the day after that. So it is Wednesday, Christmas Eve, and I'm doing the transport today. Now, as far as the plan goes with this, as usual, since the 480 was done on camera, this will be mostly off camera, I think. I'm just going to do the back side of this today, I think, and then come back tomorrow for the front side, so I'm not stressing myself out too much. But there are some things to be aware of on this transport that wasn't covered with the 480, so we'll do that now. You will see, or maybe you won't see, but there are these little black shims under each one of these posts, and what we're going to have to do is keep track of where those come from so they can be put back exactly where they came from. Because the geometry between the motor plate over here and this plate has to be exact. Otherwise, we're going to have issues with the transport. So what I'm going to do is, I've got these thumbtacks here. I will get a piece of cardboard, draw an outline of the actual transport on said cardboard, and then I will pin each shim in the place that it goes back in. And there's shims here as well. You can kind of see the little black shim underneath the brass collar there. So we've got a bunch of them in here I have to keep track of, and I will. Second thing I want to point out is the idler arm is bent just ever so slightly, so I'm going to try to straighten that out as well as I go along. When it comes to the actual sliding head block, that rarely needs to be done, or that often doesn't need to be done on these NAC transports, so I'm probably not going to worry about that on this one. I have manually cycled it. It's moving fine. I'm not going to worry about it. So, but that's for tomorrow's work anyway, if I decide I need to do anything. And you'll remember I had some trouble with these stupid little black clips flying off, these snap rings. Well, I got a special tool for that this time. This is it right here. You can kind of see what it is there. It's got this nifty little stopper screw on it, so you can't spread the jaws too much and break the clips. And I'll definitely be using it because I want to lube up the entire eject mechanism on this. So it'll come in handy for that. And if I had to remove the sliding head block, then I would use it there too, but I don't think I have to on this particular example. When it comes to the pivoting, you know, the pinch roller pivots down there, I'm doing that the same way I did it on the 480. I've got one of these little paper clips. You use those to split the or to spread the collars far enough to get them off, or you can use a gear puller or something. But one thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to get my alignment gauge here, and I'm going to have to check it before service and then after service to make sure that those roller pivots and guides are back in the right height. That's one thing you have to be aware of with this transport, is you have to put that back exactly where it came from. Otherwise, your tape path is off, and it's going to be incredibly hard to get it right again with this transport. So, much thanks to Willie Herman for selling this to me. Very much appreciate him. He's a really nice guy, too, to deal with. So, yeah, that's about all I can say for now, except for one more thing. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to all of you. Thanks for being my subscribers, and I would like to extend a special thanks to all of the people over at Tapeheads who have shared their knowledge about these NACs over the years, because I very likely would not be trying this without those guys. So thanks to you, and I best get started and get this done, because I want this playing by end of Christmas Day tomorrow. Oh, one more thing before I actually get started into this. Here's the idler I will be using. I've decided to go PRB on this one. I've got a fix your audio idler for it as well, in case this doesn't work. But I wanted to try the local, or the more local supplier than fix your audio. So I will be going with Russell Industries STC 0.7874 on this one. And you already know about the FRSP 8.97. I've got something like 11 of these. I'll just keep trying them until I find one that rides correctly on the crown of the pulleys, and that'll be that. With regard to the web spare parts belts, I have evaluated them. How can I show you this? Basically, the capstan belt in this kit is no good. I don't know about the others. I will evaluate them as time goes by, but here's the mode belt. It seems like it's correct. We'll find out the hard way if it's not. This will be for the shutoff belt, right about, you can't see it, right there. And this capstan belt, I'm not liking it. I'll show you what these measure. Switch over to inches, because that's basically easier to compare against the FRSP 8.97. What we've got here, all right, there you go. There you can see it's 4.3 inches internal circumference. We need 9 inches, or 8.97 inches, as it were. And the width is also incorrect. It's only a 4mm belt. We need 5mm. And the 8.97 will do perfectly for that, I'm sure. If it doesn't, then I've got the 9.2s I can try. But I'll use as many of the web spare parts belts as I can, but obviously the capstan belt is not going on. Okay, folks, I have just finished the idler assembly service and the reel tables, and I did not find anything bent in the idler arm whatsoever, so I guess it must have been a trick of the light or something. Nothing I can do about it, but I wanted to show you something. There are indentations in both reel tables that I don't think I can do anything about. Right there, and then there's another one right here. So I hope this has decent wow and flutter, but should also be mentioned that there are slip clutches in both reel tables. They're felt, and they're right down in where you can see the cracks. So maybe it won't have too much effect on wow and flutter. Had no problems with the service. I've got some oil down on the bearing for this, the front bearing. Here's the old idler. Had to be cut off because it is now plastic, but I always knew it was bad, so not too surprising there. The FG coil was a bit of a bear. It's held on with one of these things, so I hope I can get that back on properly, but if I can't, then maybe I've got a C-clamp for that, or you know, one of the things. I got a bunch of them here. I'll show them. I got a whole kit full of them, so maybe there's something in there that would work. Anyway, I will keep going. I've got a lot more to do. Okay, folks, it is officially Christmas Day, and I am still working on the deck, but that's okay. That's kind of what I had planned all along. Usually I do Christmas puzzles or jigsaw puzzles or something like that on Christmas Day, and this is my Christmas puzzle for this Christmas. So let's Christmas this up by Christmasing us a Christmas Nakamichi. So let's finish this. Now, when it comes to belts, it only took me 2 attempts to find a FRSP 8.97 I was happy with. The first one I tried wandered back and forth on the motor side of it, but this one seems to be doing fine. It's riding directly on the crown. Lubrication seems to be great, so I'm happy with that. So all we need to do is get the front of this transport serviced, and then we're done. So first thing I'm going to have to do is remove the door, just like on the 480. And the way I'm going to do this is I'm not going to mess with this little linkage here for the eject mechanism. I'm worried that's going to break if I try to do something crazy with it. But what we're going to do is we're going to try my new pliers, and we're going to try to disconnect this arm here and just leave it kind of dangling. So let's see how well this works. Should be able to just kind of, oh, there we go. That worked extremely well. So we'll kind of leave that hanging, And I will go ahead and pull the door, and we'll get into the front of this. I'll just put this C-clip off to the side here. I've got the board off the back of this thing, so I'm not damaging anything. And I got a couple of wire ties on this side to get rid of, because we need the wire slack here. I'll show you what they look like. And I'm just going to cut these. I'll be replacing these with actual zip ties. And I'm back to thinking this has never been serviced before. It can't have been serviced before. If it was serviced before, it's for something extremely minor and ancient history now. So we're going to have to delete these zip ties up around here as well, so we can get the head wires freed up. I'll go a little more wide angle for you. Okay. These are the head wires right here. I don't think I need to do much with any of the other wires, but could be wrong. I've already taken pictures of these zip ties, so I can put new ones back in exactly where they came from. Now I've got lots of wire slack to deal with the head bridge on this thing. I'll just push as much wire through as I can, so I don't have to worry so much about wires getting in the way. And actually I can fully remove these wires too, it looks like. So why don't we just do that? That way we could do our work and not worry about wires being caught up in the transport. And everything will be good, hopefully. Gotta say, this transport's been going well so far. I probably just jinxed it with just saying that, but whatever. If I jinx it, I jinx it. This deck, as expensive as it is also for me to learn on, so I'm not going to worry too much about anything. Oh, I forgot to disconnect that big spring at the back. That would figure. That's this one right here. Cannot actually remove the door until then, at least not the way I have disconnected it. So that should do. Damper wants to pull out now, and it's having trouble getting past some of the linkages. So I will manipulate the eject linkage so I can get it past there and pull the damper out like so. And the door is off. And this linkage is hanging up. What's it hanging up on? There we go. It's hanging up on the spring. I want to relube this because it's nasty. So I will relube it eventually. I guess I will continue to do stuff on camera with you. Need a bigger screwdriver for that. Remove yonder beauty plate. And there we go. There's the front of the transport. We'll get that belt out of there. And actually, we can string the new belt right now. Honestly, my initial impressions are I want to use my 0.7 millimeter belts for this instead of what came in the web spare parts kit. But I did kind of pay money for that, so I'm going to just use their shutoff belt here. Let's measure it. I have measured the actual new mode belt. That's what it is there, 124 millimeter internal circumference. I forgot to get the width, but it's going to be 1.5 millimeters square or somewhere around there. At least it should be. So this belt is, what is it? 0.8. Actually, yeah, I'm happy with that. And internal circumference is 230 millimeters. So let's see if it fits. I don't think I'll be taking off this arm that's running right over top of it, so don't worry about that. Whoops! I have exactly today and today to finish this video for you, if you guys are going to see it on Saturday. Oh, and by the way, I did oil this shaft in here. Oil is about the only thing you can do for that shaft, so that is exactly what I did. Let's check the... oh, we got some work to do on the back tension brake. The pad is falling off, so I will have to deal with that now as well. Let's see, disconnect the spring. We'll make note of which position the spring is in first. It's in the third one, middle. So that'll have to go back where it is. I might have to adjust it anyway for getting the back tension aligned, but I will worry about that another time. We'll pull this brake off. Making note of the washer that's on top of it, and I think I'm going to want to lube that as well. So you can see here, oh, actually, the pad is fine. It's a little dirty. I thought it was falling off, but it is not, actually. That's a relief. I don't have to glue something else on today, but I will just go ahead and relube that now, quickly off camera, and put it back on. Okay, the back tension brake is back in and well lubed, so it should work fine. Hopefully it'll stay working that way. And I've also relubed up in here and up in here as well. And I've got some new grease down in here as well, but I didn't clean the old grease out because you have to remove this whole arm to do that. And I don't think it's really necessary on this particular unit. There's rollers actually inside the mode gear down in there on every single part that interacts with it. So that's why these hold up the way they do without needing re-greasing. So yeah, unfortunately to get this arm out, you have to have the entire backside of the transport back apart, and I don't want to do that. I just don't have the time anymore. So we're going to proceed. So head block comes off next. And now the head block. Oh, crap, I forgot. I was going to test the alignment first. So we got to put this back on again to do that. I'd forget my head if it wasn't bolted on. Yes, I am Frankenstein. Why do you ask? Note, I didn't say Frankenstein's monster. I said Frankenstein. And you didn't see any of that, did you? Well, now you can see it. Okay. A ligament gauge. Where is it? I want to check to see if these pinch roller pivot posts have actually moved over the years. Do I have to get out the epoxy and reinforce them from behind like I did on the 480? Let's find out. Okay, that's in place. We'll raise the head block manually on this particular unit. Hope I'm turning it the right way. I think I am. It's moving. Pinch rollers are not engaged yet, but here they come. Okay, let's find out exactly how out of alignment this is. First, we'll see if it clears the pad lifter. I gotta take my glasses off for this. It does. Let's check this guide, the exit guide. We appear to be good there. I will just double check. Sometimes these can be deceiving. Sometimes they'll look like they're in alignment, but the gauge is loose or something or whatnot. and everything is in alignment. So this deck has actually never had the pinch rollers move out of alignment, or the pinch roller pivots move out of alignment. Plus, the pinch roller pivots are actually still in decent shape. Both rollers are moving into position as they should, but we have to re-grease all that stuff anyway today. Most of which I will be doing off camera. We're just doing stuff that's not been seen on camera yet. Okay, head block screws back out again. And just real quick, before I take this off, in order to set the head tilt and head height, what you do is you pull these little gears out, and then you can make your adjustments and then put the gears back. I think that's the way that goes. I haven't actually had to do that yet on a NAC, but whatever. I like that they've got these little arms here to sort of provide a little latching mechanism here for the azimuth adjustments, but it is time to deal with this sliding azimuth plate now. And the one wire tie I haven't cut yet has to be cut because the erase head wires are in this, and I can't have them cramping my style here. Okay, now we can get this off and we can feast our eyes on the glory of the sliding mechanism down in here. That is what we need to service now. And taking a look at how the record head mounts, it looks like it's just sort of a press down and turn affair. We have to remove that and clean everything up here. And I hope I don't break the, well, I actually don't have to dismount the cable assembly from the bracket, because we can just remove the bracket, can't we? Which is very solidly in place. Thankfully, I have vessel screwdrivers. Oh, that has never been out before, that screw. When you hear it pop like that, it's never been out before. But then again, we already knew that from the condition of the grease in here. Oh boy, I hope I can get this one popped loose without applying heat. Ah, there we go. We got her. So this can come off now. There is a spring to disconnect that we have to do. I should have done that first, really, but first time. And hopefully you guys are seeing this on camera and how it's mounted. Should be able to, yes, there we go. And look at this nasty grease. Just terrible. And I will show the camera how this is. The sliding assembly just goes back and forth underneath. Seems like it's actually moving now, but that has to be re-greased. That's not optional. So let's clean this up and we'll go to town on it. Brand new grease is going in. Cable actually moves quite well, so I'm not too worried about getting down inside the cable and lubricating there. I can. Mostly where the grease is needed is back in under here, so we're going to do that for sure. So I'll put the cable up out of the way for now. Save that Q-tip. And we'll come around here, and I need a flat screwdriver. I've never done this before, so if it breaks, well, it's on me, I guess. Oh, that couldn't have gone easier. Here's the little holder for that. And up it comes with the sliding plate falling out of it. And it just goes in the back of the head like so. And this is why I couldn't do anything with that azimuth adjustment. It needs thorough re-greasing and cleaning. So let's thoroughly re-grease and clean it, shall we? Lots of nice IPA. I'm going to have to use a few Q-tips on this, I think. And I'm seeing another slider over on the head block I can re-lubricate from here, so I probably will. Basically, everything I can reach is being re-lubed. I would prefer to actually yank the whole sliding head block out and re-grease and re-lube that way, but again, this is my deck. There's no time crunch for doing that part of things. That can always be done after the fact later, if I need to sell this deck or anything. But I don't even know if it's worth selling in its current condition, so that's why we have to service it and find out. I hope I can get a recording test done for you guys for Sunday. I don't know if I can or not. I'm not going to make any promises. I will try. That's all I can promise. But this has been such a time crunch already that I just cannot make any guarantees for sure. All right, that's that done. Let's see, what else can we clean up while we're here? Get some of this dust and dirt out of here as well. This side does not need to be done because there's no azimuth plate here. It's just the Dragons and the 680s and the 682s that have that. But yeah, having seen the way this is, I'm actually not too bothered about the idea of servicing a Dragon or whatnot at this point. This has not been hard at all, what I've done. And I'm noticing some cracks in this black plastic material here, but I'm hoping that won't matter. I'm just going to put this back together and hope everything works. I think everything should work. Let me get my grease and we'll re-grease and be off to the races, I hope. And the pinch roller pivots, I will do all that off camera because I've already done it on the 480. Well, that's a nice Mully Coat EM30L for this guy. Grease the slidey doohickey here. And that should be actually too much grease, but I want her sliding, and she's gonna slide now, I'll tell you what. All right, we are back in place. And does the sliding plate move the record head? Yes, it does. It's very subtle, but it totally works now. But I want a little bit more grease just on the very end of this, because it is a little bit grindy up in there. Okay, we have restored our azimuth action to the record head of this deck, and I have to clean this now, or clean the heads, I mean. I will say that I will not do this the way I did the 480. The 480 I had to use autosol to get all the corrosion off the heads. This one doesn't need that. I will use acetone only to clean these heads. And hopefully that's good enough. You saw the head condition on the microscope. I have a few concerns about the playback head gap on the microscope shots, but I can't do much about that. I'm not going to send these heads out for lapping until I know they actually need it, but yes, the sliding action is good, so I will get to work on the rest of this, and I will come back later. Okay, real quick, folks, I did actually need a little bit of grease down in here underneath the sliding plate so it would work better, but not too much. You can see how this is working now. it seems to be doing all right, but just in case, I decided to go ahead and just dribble a little bit of my my compressor oil down into the actual cable itself, just to make sure. And that is the same oil I'm using on the capstan bearings, which is, I'll show you this stuff. This is great stuff. I have never had a problem with this in capstan bearings, or anywhere else for that matter. So, yes, the head block is done, and I just have to do the pinch roller pivots. And I guess this thing is done, and I gotta re-grease that too, but that's gonna be easy. No worries there. I'll get her done. And there you have it, folks. One serviced ZX-9 transport. Had relatively few issues. The C-clip down on this sliding plate area here, that decided to go to space, so I had to get one out of the kit with the new C-clips, but that was fine. I'll probably find the old one. It's just going to take longer than I have today to find it, but whatever. As long as it works, I'm happy. Everything's been lubed up nice and good, and I've checked the alignment. Head tilt and height is fine on both of those heads. And once again, the idiotic locking collars are the bane of my existence. On this side, the paper clip popped out twice before I got it clicked in, and then I had to do it all over again because it clicked in too high, and then I tried to shove it in and it was too low, and anyway, I got it straightened up now. Pinch rollers, I'm not so sure about these, but I will keep them. They needed quite a lot of help from acetone on a Kim wipe in order to bring them around, but they are nice and grippy now, so I think I might have saved them. We will see for sure. I am not really keen on keeping a zip tie here because it's probably going to break that little circuit board, but that's all I got available, so whatever. Everything else has been reinstalled exactly where it came from, as far as I can tell. And one more thing I should mention that I may not have mentioned yet, and probably haven't mentioned yet, is I believe I've been finding 1984 date codes all over this deck. So this is a rather recent deck for a ZX-9. They were made from 82 to 85, I think. And this is an 84. So I would have been 11 summers old by that time. Well, no, 10 summers and a couple months after summer. Anyway, the deck is probably ready to go. I'm not sure. I have to get this back in the deck now. I will do that all off camera. And then once we get it back in the deck, we'll fire it up, see if it runs, and we will have to check the capstan motor duty cycle with the oscilloscope because I recapped that whole board, so it might need adjustment now. So we will do that as well. It's basically the same kind of thing we did for the Sony 666 ES for the capstan motor duty cycle on there. It's just a few less adjustments on this one, but it's basically the same principle. You want to get that waveform looking as symmetrical as possible, and then that's about all there is to it. So let me get this back in the deck and we'll see if this works. You guys might actually get to see this video on Christmas. How exciting is that? Well, it's the moment of truth. Is this thing working or not? I haven't installed the knobs yet because I might have to take this apart again, but I'm cautiously optimistic, even though this is a nightmare to restring the cables in again, but I managed. Scope is online and ready to go for capstan duty cycle adjustment, so let's power on and see what happens. Does anything blow up? No, nothing blues up. Nothing blued up. Okay, now we can check the capstan motor. It is working, but the waveform is a little suspicious. So I've got the scope on VR502, the center pin, and that's what we're going to adjust. See if we can get this looking a little better. Maybe that's the best we can get from it, at least for now. I'm going to leave it running, and we're just going to check some transport operation. Counter has moved, so the shutoff lamp is working. Oh, tons of torque. Yeah, she's moving and grooving, but does she sounding and pounding? That didn't make any sense. Let's get a test tape in there and we'll see what happens. Everything should be working, and because I can't get access to the EQ switch right now, this probably wouldn't sound good, but wait a sec. It's not taking up the slack. Let me check into that real quick. Look at the Christmas tree while you're waiting. No, it's working. It's taking up the slack. Losing my mind is all. Okay. What happens when I hit play? That is the question of the day here. First, let's keep you in suspense. Just a little bit. Okay, fast forward and rewind are working well. And we've got audio on both channels. Excellent! We have a working ZX-9 right here. Okay, let's check the duty cycle again. We'll just leave it playing, actually, because that's what I had to do on the 666 ES, is go back and forth between play and stop. Bunch of times. I don't know. This control isn't doing much, so I'm going to call it good right there, and we'll shut this off. And let's hook up audio, I guess. Give me a second. All right, let's see if we can get some audio out of this. I have the output all the way down, so we're going to start playing, and then we'll increase the volume right from the front panel here. And we have full audio. Doesn't even sound half bad, considering I haven't done azimuth yet. Sounds like she's running slow, but we'll fix that in a minute or 5 here. Man, this thing's working well. Yeah, she needs speed adjustment badly, but this is the broken Dolby switch here. It went back in right where it's supposed to go, so happy with that I am. But I have to shut you off now so I can break out the laptop so we can calibrate the speed, and then we'll be done. Theoretically. There might still be more to do, but like I said, I don't have time to do azimuth and head adjustments right now. That has to be on the weekend. I gotta get this video in the can and uploaded, because I've been working on it for 2 weeks. Minus half a week for power failures and other random nonsense. Okay, are we ready to see what this bad boy can do? Or is currently doing, I should say, in its current condition. I'm a little concerned about how slow it was running. I'm worried that I might not have enough adjustment, but only one way to find out, I guess. Here we go. Well, the wow and flutter is fantastic. I was hoping it would be. Adjusting. Almost there, and we are there. I'm gonna hold right here. We are 0.024% wow and flutter, which is terrific. Can't complain about that none. She's drifting up in speed just a tickle. So I'll bump the control down just a little more. Transport is dead silent. I like that. There we go. We want to be on the plus side of 3000 hertz because this tape was recorded just a little bit slow. So I'm going to hold it right there and we're going to call it good. Very happy about this. We do have uneven levels here, but that's because I haven't done any calibrations yet. But whatever. It's up and running. I'm very happy. I will try to get that recording test done for Sunday. I'm not making any promises because I don't know what's going to happen when I try to record with this yet. But if I can do a recording test and there's drama, there will be clips and stuff preceding the recording test or whatnot. And whatever. I'm not going to worry about it now. This has been one stressful project, I'll tell you what. But I'm so glad it's done on Christmas Day. Can't complain at all. So I'll see you guys next year and in the next video. And whenever I see you, happy holidays, Merry Christmas.